All right, welcome back to Deep Dive with Dr. Fitz, Season 2, Episode number 18. And we are high atop the Lehigh Valley Health Network Sports Performance Center on campus here at the Schuylkill Haven Area School District, which is the perfect segue to remind our viewers and listeners that this beautiful 1/10 of a mile track that we are seated on is available for your use each and every weekday. Every resident can come here every weekday in the evening between 3 and 9 p.m. absolutely free. Come on in out of the cold, come on in out of the snow, out of the ice, walk on the track and feel better about yourselves. And you can do so free as a taxpayer here in the school district. We'd love to see you. So let me get into this episode and introduce our Season 2, Episode 18 guests. First of all, Mr. Julian, Mrs. Stefan, and Mrs. Fretz, all members of our Department of Special Education here in the Schuylkill Haven Area School District. And I'm going to let them tell you exactly what they do in just a second. But before that, we would be remiss if we did not mention that it is Friday, the 14th of February, which means it's Valentine's Day. And where would I want to take my wife? No other place tonight than Martz Hall in Pottsville as we play for the Schuylkill League Girls Championship. That's the first time in school history we have a chance to win a league championship. So all of you viewers and listeners, get out to Martz Hall, 6 p.m. this evening. Support our Lady Hurricanes as they battle for a league championship. Also tomorrow, leagues for swimming in Pottsville as well. And the real reason that we are on the air here is Disability Awareness Week is next week here in the school district. So let's get down to business as I knock the microphone over here. I'm so excited. And get you ready for Disability Awareness Week, and we learn a little bit about what that is all about. So let's start by introducing yourselves and tell us what you do for our school community.
Okay, I'm Sam Julian. I'm the high school autistic support teacher here at Schuylkill Haven.
Amy Stefan, and I am the high school life skills teacher at Schuylkill Haven.
I'm Ellen Fretz, and I'm occupational therapy at the elementary school and the high school.
Excellent. We're going to stick with you, Mrs. Fretz. And if you could, talk to us about maybe a little bit about what inspired you to get involved with Disability Awareness Week.
Well, I understand it started in 2016. I'm here for 9 years, and it's a team effort. So just working with a great team, getting to know each other and where we shine, and just took it from there. We have meetings to support this event. We get together a few times, and just each school does different activities.
Yeah,
so.
we were excited to add Mrs. Stefan to the team when she started with us a few years back. But Mrs. Stefan, if you wouldn't mind, talk about your experience. You joined our team a few years after Mrs. Fretz and hopped right into the action here.
Yes, like Mrs. Fretz said, it started in 2016, so it was already in place when I came to Schuylkill Haven. So when I stepped into this role, this came along with it. So it was kind of important to keep up the tradition and keep the activities going and finding new activities to do each year during Disability Awareness Week.
Good. You've also jumped in day one, huh?
Oh, yeah. Right from day one. I remember working with Miss Langle, and now I'm lucky to have my partner in crime, Mrs. Stefan. And as Miss Fretz said, we have such a good team in the special education department, along with our administration and guidance. Everybody gets together, we generate ideas, and we put out what we feel is best for the community and for the students, so that everybody feels included.
You are always coming up with ideas, this team. So let's go into that a bit. Other ideas, activities that you've done in addition to Disability Awareness Week, any that come to the forefront today?
Well, I would say when we go out in the community and help Porcupine Pat, that's a big one. We won an award a few years back. Our students, the Youth Conservationists of the Year for the county. So that's always a good thing. And we just met with him last week, and we'll continue that as well.
Any other ideas, anything that's, come to, the top of your mind right now as another activity?
Well, I could speak for Borough Days, because that is a piece where the students actually go out, work with the community. They're interacting, giving change, and we have craft tables. Yeah. And we work on those activities pretty much all year round for one day. And it's just a neat piece to see the students interact with the community. And that's what I really enjoy that day.
I like the caramel popcorn, too, that's close by your stand each year. So that's pretty good, too. Amy, how about you?
I would have to say the Hurricane Hop.
Yeah.
That's
coming up, right? In
It
the
is
spring.
coming up, yes. April 9th will be the Hurricane Hop. And this year is outer space themed. So,
And how many schools go to that?
Yeah.
usually it's 12 schools in the county. Last year, including staff, students, administration, it was well over 300 people. So
It was amazing.
it was.
Catered
It's such
event.
a good time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just awesome. 12 school districts, students with disabilities, a prom that we hold during the school day. It's one of the most amazing days of the year. But next week is one of the most amazing weeks of the year. So we have some folks that may be tuning in and say, I'm not familiar. What is Disability Awareness Week? Amy, let's go back to you on this one. What exactly is Disability Awareness Week, and what does it look like across our entire district?
Across the district-wise, each building has different activities planned. I know at the high school level, we have Tuesday is a Down Syndrome Awareness Day. So it is rock your socks. So you wear the crazy socks, our Friends Forever Club.
Like these? I mean, would these qualify? These are
that would work.
Valentine's Day socks.
They would
ladies and
work.
gentlemen.
They work.
I'll have them washed for next week.
Perfect. Tuesday. Our Friends Forever Club will hand out a kind of sticky notes, just those kind of little messages to help someone have a better day. Also, we will have Test Your Wisdom with Wortman, so asking questions.
Yes.
He did volunteer for this, by the way.
Yes.
Questions about disability awareness, because there's a lot of things that people don't know, or they just hear the word disability and they think, oh, it's something you see, when in fact it isn't. Wednesday, we have Autism Awareness Day, which will be wearing blue. We also have Ben from Benergy coming that day. So I'm super excited. He's a huge Eagles fan. So it'll
He's
be
going to
nice.
speak to all of our students?
He is going to speak to all of our high school students. He was diagnosed with autism at age 2. So it's about his journey through middle school, through high school, and now speaking publicly. So it's amazing. So I'm super excited for him to come. Thursday, it'll be Wear Red for physical disability awareness. We have a Spread the Word banner that we got through our Unified Bocce team and Special Olympics that the students will be able to earn some swag that they gave us, some water bottles and bracelets, and also sign the banner to use the word inclusion more.
Good.
And then Friday is mental health awareness. So it's wearing green. During that time, Mrs. Hauk will have a crisis table set up just with important resources about mental health.
Good. Busy.
So we're busy.
Week.
Busy next week.
At the high school as well. And again, all kinds of activities, middle school and elementary. We don't need to, I don't want to make you go through all of them, but this is a very important week. Not just for you as educators, but for our students. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget the first year that we did it. I like to pop in the back of these things and get in the auditorium when all the kids are gathered. And I just remember the level of respect that our kids show. And this is a testament to you parents at home that have raised great kids. Our kids don't make fun. Our kids don't do anything to jeopardize the success of our students with disabilities. In fact, just the opposite. They support it, and I love that. And so next week, you'll get to see that firsthand, and I'm so proud. I know, of course, I get to know all these kids over the years. I've been here a little while now. It is one of, honestly, it's probably one of the most proud weeks of the entire school year for me. So, all right, great. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, along those lines, one of the coolest things that I've witnessed over the years of teaching here is how the other students, work with and include students with disabilities. Just the simple fist bumps and the high fives in the hallway and just going up and asking them how they're doing. Or in gym class, I've seen kids shooting hoops and playing different games down there. And then just to see the smiles on our students' faces and, that they have a friend, somebody that's there for them, that's going to, look after them. So it really is. It's really nice to see.
Mrs. Fretz, I would be remiss if I didn't point out your table of goodies over there. And, obviously we have a lot of activities next week, but you seem to have activities throughout the entire school year.
We
but
do.
What exactly is on the table?
Well, ours ties in with the high school, but just at a different level, of course. The high school students come down to the elementary school and read books that the librarian pulled for the high school students to read to the students. There's books on Braille that faculty actually takes books and reads as well. There's videotapes in the morning stickers are given out, and there's coloring sheets. So it's a little different than obviously at the high school level. And in conjunction with Disability Awareness Week, we also tie in Kindness Week. So at the elementary level, that's a big piece. Kindness.
Great. Good stuff. And I'm impressed. I think the last time I had a visual display, it all fell off the table on me.
We glued it.
Right as we got on the air. Just really quickly, very similar themes at our middle school. They'll be rocking some crazy socks and wearing the blue, the red, the green, but autism awareness, physical disability awareness, and mental health awareness, in addition to Down syndrome awareness, which is day one at our middle school. So very similar themes, but the mental health awareness piece has become bigger than ever. And I feel like we as a school district have done a really good job of not only providing supports, but also some tough love in and around mental health. And I feel really good about the training we've given our staff and as well as our students as it relates to mental health. So got a great bunch of activities planned, but what can students and staff members do to participate? How can they help you next week? Is there anything you need out of us, out of staff members, or even the students themselves? Is there anything more that you want out of our students? And Sam, I'll start with you on this one.
Yeah, I would just say keep pushing what we have set for each day. It'd be nice if we had 100% participation, everybody wearing the same colors, everybody sporting the crazy socks, and just those constant reminders from the teachers and staff to the kids about inclusion and about how that makes other students feel. And like I said, we do that already. This is such a great community. The kindness sticky notes, all of those things, as a staff member, you could fill those out. Kids, anybody could do any of the things on this list. So,
and please don't hesitate. Send a reminder email out the day before. The only emails they get from me right now are 2-hour delays and snowstorms. So they may ignore my emails. Any one of you, please jump on the all staff email chain there and let them know what's going on though. Amy, anything on your end?
I think just piggybacking off what Sam said, to wear the color of the day to show that unified component, and also to explore the resources that are offered either by the Special Olympics table or Mrs. Hauk's crisis table. Just look at those.
So if you noticed, I managed to wear every color of the theme. So that's, my wife always says, you don't match. But I don't, and that's okay. But I have every color. I've got some red, I've got some blue, and crazy Valentine socks on today. Good. Mrs. Fretz, anything you want to add?
I could add for faculty, I believe it's a $10 fee if you wear jeans next week. So that's a neat piece. And then that money goes to the Hurricane Hop.
Terrific. I've got all kinds of great decorations, by the way, thanks to your students and their crafts over the years. So I do appreciate that. Right back to you, though, Mrs. Fretz. What do you hope that people get out of next week? What's your takeaway from next week that you hope our kids or even our staff members walk away?
I think basically an awareness and then generating that word kindness. I think those are two key words for staff, students alike.
Good. How about in the classroom? What do you hope your students take away from next week?
Well, my students, I would just hope that we get more, maybe people join Friends Forever. That would be a great addition, and maybe do more activities with my students and Mrs. Steffen's students. That's what I would like to see.
Right. How about over the years? Mrs. Steffen, I'll come to you on this one. Changes that you've seen from your first year here till next week, changes that you've seen in Disability Awareness Week. Have you seen anything evolve or improve over the years?
I actually think it has more of a buy-in now. It's always been a really great topic, but we see more involvement from students and faculty. Like, what do you need? Do you need donations? Do you need us to help? What do you need? Right. They just ask. And I think what helped a lot was the Unified Bocce team. And also with that goes the Friends Forever Club. But I think just gradually there's just been more. They enjoy coming to our classrooms and hanging out with our kids. Or like Sam said, the fist bumps in the hallway, or how are you doing? It's just, there's more ways they want to help.
Yeah.
One thing we do need to point out for the bocce team, they made the Schuylkill League Championships.
Yes.
So February 27th, I believe it's being hosted at Martz Hall. Come on out and support our bocce team on their quest to hopefully make it back to Hershey.
Now, there's rumor that Mr. Wortman may have an appointment with a tattoo parlor.
I heard that as well.
If they let's not go there. I hope it doesn't get to that. Well, I kind of do a little bit, but that's a whole other story. Just an exciting thing. Back to you, Mrs. Fretz, and I'm going to say something that you should feel really good about. I could be having the worst day in the world, and the door will open, and you will walk in with that beautiful smile, and you are always positive. Always pleasant. So now you've watched this thing grow and evolve over the last, as you mentioned, 9+ years. What have you seen change over the years?
What have I seen change? Well, again, I think it's a team effort, and I think everyone brings something different to the table. And in the past, one of the pieces that we did, and it takes a lot of time and effort from all team members, we did an In Your Shoes event. And that was a highlight, a lot of work, but the students had a hands-on approach to see what maybe a hearing impaired or maybe a vision impaired person would be. So those are some pieces that we did in the past. We didn't do it this year.
Right.
And in another year or so, we'll do that again.
I want you to talk about that, In Your Shoes, because I don't think anyone realized how impactful that activity could have been. Tell us more specifically. So what did it mean that, when we say in your shoes, someone, a student, for example, that had a hearing impairment, explain how they worked with others to make that more realistic.
Sure. So I believe the speech therapy team worked with that, and they had machines that worked, and it was actually in this room, that I guess closed down the hearing component or maybe made noise in the background, which would simulate the student that is hearing this noise and how can they accommodate with a low hearing. And we had wheelchairs, walkers, different equipment, a sling for people.
Yeah.
We just tried to show and have an increased awareness. Of course, it's not going to simulate the exact disability, but it was just to increase the awareness.
Yeah, that was. I remember it was actually down on the turf here. It was exciting. All right, let's talk about our impact on our school community. How can our students and staff continue to be inclusive and supportive beyond this week? You mentioned the fist bumps in the hallways, but what else can we do to make sure that this just isn't one week? That this is something that we do a better job of year round.
I'd say just not necessarily looking. One of the quotes that I like, don't look at the label, but look at the able. What everybody is capable and, deserves to be part of something.
Great.
That's good.
Any personal stories, anything that you may remember from years gone by that come to mind that you'd like to share about Disability Awareness Week? Or I love the In Your Shoes activity. That was for me, that was one of the real powerful activities that we may revisit down the road. But any stories from years past that come to mind? I'm gonna share one. I don't think I've ever even shared this. So we had a student transfer to our school the week of Disability Awareness Week. And I'm not of course not gonna mention any names, but had a rap sheet this long from his other school. And I just remember sitting in the disability awareness assembly, whatever it was that year, was a speaker in our high school, and the student was struggling a little bit throughout the day. And I remember at that activity talking to that student, and I just said to him, in this school, you don't have to worry. No one's looking to fight you. No one's looking to start trouble with you. No one is. In fact, we're all just here to help you. And what a great success story. Went on to graduate a few years back. Still, I give him a hug when I see him to this day as an adult. And I know the bond he and Mr. Sickett had. It started as a not so friendly bond when when you're in the assistant principal's office. But I specifically remember seeing a turnaround in him just by sitting in that assembly that day in our high school. So cool stuff. It was really moving. So, all right, we're going to get to the last couple questions here. We got to get ready for Schuylkill League basketball championships tonight. But let's just give our listeners one opportunity. If there's one message you want our listeners to take away from today's conversation, what message would that be? Let's start with you, Sam.
I would just say, be kind, because you never know what anybody else is going through. Just be the light that can make their day.
Great.
You just said it, Mr. Julian. Cut.
You want to cut us right there? I love that you said that. Years ago, I'll never forget. In fact, I may have been interviewing for a job here, and the question was, what do you do when someone needs to be fired because they're not doing their job? Something like that was a question. I don't remember the specifics. And I said, well, the first thing I would do is I'd find out why. I'd say, I want to know why. Why did we create this? Was it our fault? Are we that miserable of a place that someone doesn't want to work here anymore? And you're exactly right. We don't know what that person's going through. And that can be said across the board for all of us. Good. How about community-wise? Anything that the folks in the community can do to be more involved and help out with Disability Awareness Week? Do you need support? What do you need? Anything that this is your chance to spread the word. Mrs. Fretz,
drawing a blank on that
one.
What
help do you need? Because we did put a plea out. We needed some support, some help, something like that. And I remember the Covels stepped up and donated a bunch of stuff to us. But what do we need? You need some more craft materials. This is your chance. Get the word out. They were wonderful, by the way. I think we got quite a donation there
that was awesome.
To be able to expand our hurricane creations and do that kind of thing. But what do we need from the community? Maybe just come out of Borough Day, right? And buy some stuff.
Awesome,
yeah. And
I
maybe
think for the students, the take home for the students would be, like you just said, it's a kindness type of a piece.
Yeah.
Spread kindness.
Yeah, spread some kindness. Disability Awareness Week. It's coming up next week, February 18th through the 21st here on campus at the Schuylkill Haven Area School District. Thank you all for being my guests today on Deep Dive.
Thanks for having us.
My absolute pleasure. I'm so proud. We're going to have a great week next week. I'm pumped. No snow allowed. We're not going to let a little snow stand in our way, though. Maybe we'll have a delay, but we'll still get everything in. I promise.
Wear your socks.
I'll wear my crazy socks. So, folks, great teachers like this, great educators like this in our hallways. Be sure to share this, spread the word. Disability Awareness Week is next week on campus here at the Schuylkill Haven Area School District. And again, I can't thank these folks enough for all the work that they do behind the scenes. So share this episode. Let them know we're on Spotify, YouTube. We're at Hurricanes Media, Schuylkill Haven Hurricanes Media on YouTube. And then, of course, we always like to say, make those positives so loud that the negatives are impossible to hear.